Attention mortgage brokers, loan officers, VPs of lending, or anyone who makes a living helping people generate wealth through home ownership. Realtors, they are our number one client. And right now is the beginning of the fall hunting season. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children 18 plus. You are tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast with me, Dustin Owen, and my main man,
JC.
John Coleman.
Dio, what's poppin'?
JC, I have now received numerous requests.
No.
Yes, for you.
You have not.
I have. I can show it to you.
Stroke the check.
I can show it to you.
Okay.
I think they will stroke the check. They're going to become a TLOP member really soon.
Oh, shit.
And when that happens, they said we miss the bubbly, excitable John Coleman, that this whole persona of you can't be bothered with the whole
I can't be
John
bothered.
Coleman. They're done with that.
Okay.
They want the JC with a smile on his face.
That child has been put to rest long time
John, man. Here we are, September of 2024.
Oh, shit.
College football season is in full swing. Yep, here in the great state of Florida, the Seminoles are 0-2. Mm-hmm. You know, I heard someone call them,
Hold on, they lost again?
What's that? Yes. I think they called
that quarterback couldn't hit a fucking barn door yesterday. I seen that shit.
It was pretty bad. How about this? So yeah, Florida State's 0-2. University of Florida is 0-1. UCF's 1-0. And Miami Hurricanes actually look legit, which only time will tell because we know the Hurricanes haven't been legit in 2 decades. But nonetheless, there are some people that are super excited because their football teams have started off strong. There's others that are like, great, we are in the first week of September and my football season's over.
Real talk, like people, the anticipation for football was so like fever pitch, but now that it's here and it's only been like a week and a half, it feels like it's been on for like ever already.
No, I am so excited. I am literally so excited for football season. I'm that guy. I have my last fantasy football draft tonight. NFL kicks off on Thursday, and it's going to be go time every Saturday and Sunday until January.
Give me tickets to the Oviedo Lions game because I am interested in seeing like high school. I'll go smack to the high school game.
You want to go to Oviedo High School? I don't know if they're any good this year.
They're always good.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't care about them? You don't care about Oviedo High? It's all about UCF?
I asked my daughter if she cares, and if she doesn't care, then I don't care.
Fair enough.
Yeah, just like that. But no, how about this? How about if you have DirecTV or AT&T Uverse?
Stop. Nobody has either one. DirecTV with the satellite dish?
No, I have DirecTV Stream. I have DirecTV Stream is what I use to watch television at my house. And they're in a pissing match with Disney right now. Mm-hmm. So this means no ABC unless I get out the rabbit ears, no ESPN.
You don't just stream them illegally?
No ACC Network. You don't
stream them illegally like everybody else?
Well, so I was yesterday years old when I figured out when I couldn't get the Florida State game.
You can get every game on.
I just went to YouTube and I found some YouTuber was streaming it. In fact, I found multiple YouTubers.
Welcome to the future, Dad.
So one guy had a shitty stream and I was like, I turn this shit off.
Oh my God.
But then I found the next guy. I was like, yeah, this stream's legit.
It's like
my wife and daughter were like, way to go. It only took me an entire first half for me to figure that out. In the meanwhile, I was like calling customer service, who's, probably out of Malaysia, trying to talk to a lady who doesn't really understand what I'm asking her. But really what I wanted to know is, why is my ESPN Plus app not getting me the game?
Hold on. So
that's a whole other story.
Whoa. You actually try to call people on their phone when your technology's not working?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Boomer.
Yo, really? Yo, yeah. Take a step back.
Boomer.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Take a step back and hang up the phone. I could get you on one of them fucking Progressive commercials with like you're acting like your parents. I can get, what is that? I'm gonna get you on one of them.
I'm the poster child. All right, so let's get into something I do know about, John.
Okay, yes, Realtor Hunting season.
Yeah, it's Realtor Hunting season, and this is always a rallying cry. And I love this. It happens twice a year, every single year.
Okay.
Going back 20 years.
Okay.
And I'm gonna prognosticate going forward the next 20 years.
Let's Elmer Fudd this.
We are gonna Elmer Fudd this. Look that one up, kids. Yeah, go to that little YouTube and look up Elmer Fudd. Yeah, we're going wascally wabbit hunting, right?
Yeah.
No, we're going realtor hunting. And this is what I mean by this.
Okay.
I love to look at patterns in business. Anyone who tunes into the show or you're part of our coaching program, you know that. Like, I will coach you that success leaves footprints. Right? You don't have to go out and reinvent the wheel. That's why that's a saying. Like, nope. You can figure out what others have done, and then you can follow in their footsteps. Obviously, you can put your own spin, your own flavor, and we always want to be embracing the latest, greatest, and next technologies, but the core principles are going to stay the same. So when we look at consumer buying behavior and we can look at industry trends, then we can try to target when is the most ideal time for me as a loan originator or a mortgage broker to capture the attention of my number one client. My number one client is the real estate industry. And do you know why that is, John?
Because they serve clients that buy homes and
Yes.
they refer you the most amount of business, I would think.
At the end of the day, when you are a mortgage originator, your job is to get a lead. And the best lead source still today in 2024 is the real estate community. It's realtors. Because nobody wakes up saying, I don't know, let's go in debt for 30 years. That sounds fun. No, they say, oh my gosh, I want to own my own home. Oh my gosh, I want to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars of wealth by becoming a homeowner. So what do? They go into new home subdivisions, which that would be a builder, or they go online and start searching for homes, or they maybe drive around their town and look for open houses. Nonetheless, they seek what they want. Nobody wants a mortgage. Hey, most, like 80%, need a mortgage. 20% don't, they pay cash, but 80% need a mortgage. We're just the byproduct to get what they want, which is the home. So that makes realtors in the real estate community a loan originator's number one referral source. So they are our clients. I always say the borrower is our customer. They are our clients. Well, then I have to look at what happens every year from a cyclical nature. Like what I know every single year, you can almost like map it out and it looks like the perfect curve on a calendar. You start in January, you end in December. And you can start, if I was drawing it out, you would start at like 1 in January, you would peak at 9 in July and August, and then you would come back down to 1 in November, and you always get like a little small like spike in December. And that 1 would designate like how many sales. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 is like, ooh, sales are pretty rough. 9's like, oh my gosh, the market's on fire. Well, in a typical year, January is a 1, February is a 2, March is a 4, April is a 5. You can see where I'm going. Like that chart is flowing up, but right after the summer months, then it starts to slide back down. So if I am trying to engage with my number one client, I have learned through practice and experience, there's 2 seasons for me to do so. There's 2 times that they're going to be the most receptive, the most willing to sit down and talk to me.
Okay.
And when would you guess those times would be?
Like now when we're recording this episode. So I'm going to say fall, Alex.
Yeah, there you go. Because we're recording this episode. Way to use your context clues, John.
Okay.
That's probably how you got that 900 on your SAT.
No, hey, I broke 1,000. I got a 1060. Took me 3 times, but hey.
Yeah, he super scored it.
How many? What did you
super
get?
scored
What did
it.
you get?
About 10 points better than that.
Child, what'd you get on the ACTs?
I only took it once.
What'd you get on the ACTs?
I didn't even know the ACTs existed.
Yeah, y'all barely got running water down here. So
Exactly. No, so yes, the fall is one of those time periods. But let me explain to everyone the why. And by the way, there's some parts of our profession or some parts of our careers, we're always hunting, we're always fishing. Right? Like you don't not fish when it's like not a certain season, especially when you have a family to provide for. You just know that you might not have as great a luck fishing in the off season as you do during the season. So realtor hunting season, it starts in the fall right after Labor Day. And the reason why it starts right after Labor Day is you think about what were realtors doing June, July, and August. I'm going to tell you what they were doing because this is what just about everyone in the United States is doing in June, July, and August. Their kids are out of school. So that means they are having to solve for daycare, meaning kids are home versus kids are in school. So those kids are a little bit more needy. They're a little bit more distracting. They're also taking advantage of the kids being out of school. Maybe they're doing summer trips and doing fun things with their kids because they want to create memories that last a lifetime. And in a perfect world, in a normal world, they're also closing their most business June, July, and August. So what's the probability that I'm going to be able to get someone, my ideal client, to sit down with me in June, July, and August? It's very slim because A, they're chasing around their children or carting them to and fro, or they're taking time off to go make memories with their family because it's the summer months and kids are out of school. And if they are at work, they're at work showing homes, listing homes, selling homes, writing contracts, negotiating contracts. They are doing their job and making their most money. So they don't want to be bothered. The last thing they want to think about is like meeting with that loan officer who's going to be able to hopefully add value to their business. Right now, they're probably out of bandwidth and feeling like they're drowning, or they're doing what they can to like stay afloat. So we don't have the best luck June, July, and August.
And because we have some bills to pay, here's a message from our sponsors. Originators, y'all know what the best CRM is. It's the one that you'll use. But if you're going to use a CRM, you need to check out what our friends over at ADM are doing. Number one, reporting. You can't run a business unless you know your numbers. Number two, data, and more data. It all comes down to business intelligence. Is your CRM helping you make the best business decisions, not based on feel, but based on the data? Number three, because it's easy to use. You are not a computer programmer or a software engineer. You need a CRM that's ready to go out of the box. The fourth and final reason, it comes down to support. ADM's the first and only CRM that offers around-the-clock 24/7 customer support.
We don't want you to wait 3 days for an email to respond, or didn't you watch the video? You didn't figure it out. Just pick up the phone. It takes 2 minutes and there it is.
Okay. So then we can fast forward and let's just say from Thanksgiving into Christmas, into New Year, into the first couple weeks of the year. Like what is transpiring in that time frame? Like think about your family growing up in your life. Like what was Thanksgiving like?
Like holidays and shit.
Yeah. Like were your parents working or were they not working?
I think they were off.
They were off, right?
Yeah.
And then for Thanksgiving, were you all doing stuff as a family? Were you hosting? Were you?
Yeah, like, you know, that dumb shit, cranberry turkey stuff.
Yeah, having people come over to your house, or you're going to someone else's house. Maybe you're traveling to Florida from Massachusetts to visit your aunts and your uncles, right? So the minute Thanksgiving rolls around, all of a sudden we get into holiday mode. And holiday mode is this: leave me alone. I'm trying to celebrate the year that was. I'm trying to close out the year, and I'm trying to spend time with my family. Whether I want to or I don't want to is irrelevant, right? Because most of us feel obligated to go spend time with our families. So it starts around Thanksgiving and it runs into Christmas. And then once we get into Christmas, like think of yourself from Christmas to New Year. How much motivation do you have?
Zero.
So like if your motivation level, John, was a 2, normally it's now a 0.
Yeah.
If you saw like how I did that, right?
Yeah, well played.
If my motivation was a 7, I promise you it's down to a 4. Like, and I'm pretty normal. So if that's me, that has to be probably my clients as well. So there's not a whole lot I'm going to be able to squeeze out of my client or my ideal target between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And then I know myself, once Christmas rolls around at that point, I'm just packing it in. I'm talking like my diet goes to shit, my exercise goes to shit, my alcohol consumption goes through the roof. And I'm just like, look, it's the holidays, y'all, leave me alone. And then New Year's comes, and it's about the second week into the new year that most of us are ready to get back after it. So understanding these are the patterns in Western society, right here in the United States, but probably in our friends in Europe as well and down in Australia too, then let's look at when are our folks, our targets, our clients most willing to meet with us. It's going to be right after Labor Day, all the way up until Thanksgiving. So if you're a mortgage loan originator, this is your time. If you're going to do the 12-week challenge, right? If you're going to complete the 12-week challenge, you want to do the 12-week challenge now because this is going to set yourself up for success. You work really hard for the next 12 weeks to have 1 meeting a day every single day for 84 calendar days, 60 working days. You end up having 60 one-on-one meetings. All you're doing is laying the foundation for the year to come. Now, if for whatever reason you missed out on this opportunity, in the fall, great news. In the spring is when we open up Realtor Hunting season again. That starts right after MLK, and it's going to run you all the way through Easter. Do you know when MLK Day is?
January.
It is January. You are correct. Yep. So Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday was actually January 15th. So it's always going to be in or around January 15th on a Monday, right? That's when MLK Day is going to be. And I know that that's his birthday because he shares that with my daughter, and my daughter shares that with him, which I think is really cool. So once we get to MLK Day, I know that things are back to normal as a loan originator. Like, hey, holidays are behind us. People have made their New Year's resolutions. Most of them have already fallen off the wagon once or twice, but the kids are back in school. That's a big thing. Kids are back in school. Kids out of school, kids in school. Kids out of school, kids in school. So kids are in school, and then we're going to run really hard until Easter. But when is Easter typically?
Hell if I know.
Okay. Well, John.
April.
It is, yes.
April
it is,
1st?
Depending on the advent calendar, it's somewhere between the end of March all the way into like the second week of April. Okay, so I know that if I'm trying to get in front of my targets, in front of my clients, I might not want to mess with them the first 2 weeks of January, but I know that if I get too far into April, that's getting really close to kids getting out of school. That's getting really close to the summer home buying months, at which point they don't want to sit down and talk shop. They want to get people pre-approved, get their offers accepted, get closed, and get moving because they're entering their money-making months, April, May, June, July, and August. So I have another window when I'm a mortgage loan originator to attack my ideal client, and that's going to be MLK through Easter.
Damn, good shit, Justin.
So the purpose of today's episode is more of a rallying cry. It's more of a wake-up call. It's like, hey, y'all, if you want to generate more leads, if you want to help more people become homeowners, have more closings, make more money so you can save more money, so you can live a lifestyle that you've always dreamt and retire better than you ever thought you could, the work you put in from now until Thanksgiving is going to be indicative to the leads you generate January, February, March, and the loans that you close April, May, June, July of next year. And if you're going to hit it hard in the fall, you might as well go ahead and sign up to hit it hard again in the spring, just to be safe and ensure that you put in all the work. It's the one thing you can control, your attitude and your effort. Your attitude and your effort, and it starts right now. And then my last question for you, and really for the audience to learn, John, when do you think mortgage lenders generate the most leads?
Realtor hunting season.
Interesting. I would tell you no.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay.
We generate the most leads January, February, and March. Those are your three biggest lead months.
Really?
January, February, and March. Yep.
Why is that?
Okay, let's study consumer behavior. Right? We know the biggest months are the summer months. So the people who want to buy May, June, July, and August, they too have New Year's resolutions. They too coasted from Thanksgiving into New Year's.
The American way.
Then they got into January and they're like, this is the year. This is the year that we upgrade our house. This is the year that we buy that beach condo. This is the year we buy the lake house. This is the year that we become a homeowner. So they start inquiring into what it means to purchase real estate in January. And what I have found is that the early leads
Are the shittiest ones.
are some of the lesser quality.
Tire kickers.
And the quality of leads starts picking up as we get closer to May. As a loan originator, you're the most busy April, May, and June. Those 3 months, because you still have a decent amount of leads coming in, but you're also closing a lot of loans. By the time you get to August, this is always crazy. August, you may have your best month. You may close 15, 20 transactions. You may do 7, 9 million. You may make 75 to 100 grand that month.
What?
Yeah. But you're like, damn, that was easy. Yeah, that was easy because your leads were probably pretty shitty in August, because those that ended up buying in August, they started reaching out to you in January, in March, and April. So it's that April and May when you still had an influx of leads, plus you were doing a bunch of pre-approvals, plus you were closing loans. That's when you're probably the busiest yourself. But the leads, as I asked, they come actually January, February, March. Those are your 3 biggest lead months in a typical year. Now, we could look at 2024 and say, wait a minute, we had a pretty slow home buying season this summer. And what if rates actually dropped 100 basis points, mortgage rates, not the federal funds rate, but mortgage rates dropped 100 basis points between September 1st and October 1st. I'm not saying that's going to happen, by the way. I'm not predicting that. If it does, wow, that would be amazing. We could actually have a busier fall and winter buying season. I'm not prognosticating that, but what I'm doing is laying it out there that anything is possible. But what I'm speaking about is the patterns, then the history and what we should anticipate so that we can plan for success. Because you know what? No one plans to fail, John.
I do.
No one plans to fail.
I planned on failing that exam. I got a question for you.
No, but they do fail to plan.
Thank you.
Okay.
Who was that? Vince Lombardi who said that?
I have no idea, John.
Who cares? Give me, or not me, because I don't care. Give the audience one nugget, one takeaway, one specific tactic that they can deploy for realtor hunting season, like in the fall, and conversely, something they can deploy in the spring.
All right. Well, so right now, with it being realtor hunting season, we are given a gift with the NAR commission settlement. Every realtor I've ever wanted to meet with, I should be scheduling a meeting. I should be bringing them 2 or 3 tactics or strategies that I think I would be deploying if I was a realtor. At the same time, asking them questions like, hey, how are things going? What your brokerage saying? What are you all seeing? Right? Where I'm trying to discover pain points, but let them know that I'm a partner and that as a partner, these are the things that I want to do to make sure that buyers are still represented, that buyers are represented by them, and that buyers that are represented by them are going to have the ability to pay them their commission, right? Like that is my most important marching orders right now. So that is everything that I'm doing between now and the end of the season, right? Like that's my talking points. As I get towards the end of the hunting season, which means I'm getting into November, some of my talking points then may be about business planning. Hey, what are you doing for business planning? What are your goals for next year? How can I help you achieve those goals? It's at that moment that I'm even going to hit them with what my goals are and how that if we just work together, John, on 2 transactions that funded next year, do you know that you would play a major role in helping me achieve my goals? Like just 2. Can I count on you for 2 transactions? You know, John, in order for me to actually partner with you on 2 transactions that close, I'll probably only need about a referral a month from you. Do you think you're going to meet enough home buyers that need my services that I could count on you for 1 referral a month? Right, 1 referral a month, that's 12 a year. If I capture and close 20% of that, that's 2.4 closings. I need 2. I need 2 closings from JC plus another 19 JCs out there, and I had 40 closings. That's at least $12 million in volume, maybe $15 million. That's $120,000 to $150,000. Now, I might not be a top producer, but for many people, that's where they're trying to get to in this career, right? If you want more, just go get more JCs. Maybe 20 wasn't the number. Maybe it was 40. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing that right now, right? I'm starting off the beginning of the hunting season, really focused on bringing value post the NAR commission settlement. As I get towards the end of the hunting season, it's going to be more about business planning, asking them, have they done business planning, et cetera. When I get to the beginning of hunting season, and the beginning, which is next year in the spring, the beginning is going to look a lot like the fall season ended. Mm-hmm. The spring season starts. We're talking business planning still. Hey, what are your goals this year? What did you end up doing last year? How can I help you achieve those goals? What do you think is going to change within your current practice to help you achieve those goals? Or what do you think the market's going to give you to achieve those goals? I'm just going in there as a partner, asking them lots of questions, looking for ways that I could bring value, that I could partner. And usually my ways of partnering, how can I help them generate more leads? How can I help them convert more leads? Like that's how can I help them win more contracts? Mm-hmm. Those are all ways that I can help a realtor make more money. So that's what I'm focused on. As I'm getting towards the back half of that season, right? Because the spring season, again, MLK through Easter, now you're looking at the end of March, beginning of April. I don't know if I can answer that right now. I think the market will dictate whether it's regulatory, whether it's rate driven, whether it's product driven. I think whatever is going on at that standpoint in my market, I'm always looking for ways to bring value to that realtor. So if it's a certain product, then we're going to talk about that product and how we can leverage that product to generate more leads or to get more people into homes. If it's about a strategy, a sales strategy, again, offer accepted, then we're going to talk about that strategy. But I wouldn't know that until we get closer to March of next year on how I'm going to end the season. But I know I'm going to kick off that spring realtor hunting season still in the business planning.
Well said, Dustin. That's a great way to put a bow on this episode.
Yeah, let's go ahead and put a bow on this episode. And look, y'all, this was a very specific episode for mortgage lenders. If you like specific training like this, our YouTube channel is chock full of content. Make sure you subscribed. We have a newsletter that I write and it comes out every single Thursday. Please make sure that you went to tloponline.com and you sign up for the newsletter. It is free. We have a private Facebook group. Now, you have to be a full-time, fully licensed originator to be let in, but it's called the Mortgage Mafia. If you want to come mastermind with other originators throughout the country, please come do so. Hit us up on Facebook. Look to join the Mortgage Mafia. And then finally, y'all, all of us need some form of business coaching and sales training. You either get it from your branch manager, you get it from your company, or you have to go out and get it on your own, whether it's through conferences, whether it's through conventions, or signing up for something like the TLOP MLO coaching community. You owe it to yourself to invest in your future success. Check out what we're doing over at the TLOP MLO coaching community. TLOPonline.com. That's where you'll go to get all the information. But I highly suggest you give us a try if you're looking for a phenomenal community that's going to offer you business coaching and sales training. On that note, he's John Coleman. I'm Dustin Owen. You've just tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast. That's all the time we have for you today. But we do look forward to catching you on the next episode.